Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Fan Answered Questions. This is, believe it or not, episode number 5 already in this brand new series that I've been starting. And today's question was a little bit of an interesting one. I got a huge variety of answers. This was actually the most popular one so far with 101 comments. But I asked y'all, who is the most random former Ranger that you can think of? And people certainly delivered. I'm definitely not going through all of these, but you can see here quite a few responses. So let me start at the top here. First one being Danny Santana. I don't know if he's super random, but this is also a very subjective question. So I'm not really going to comment on what I think of each answer. But yes, Danny Santana, a big part of kind of those 2017, 2018 years, I believe. And he was quite good for a while. Or was it was it like 2019? I really don't remember. Everything before 2020 is a complete blur. And then Andy Stern says Pepe Tovar. I gotta be honest, I don't know who that is. Um, but I'll have to look him up, I guess, after this. Soriano, yep, he's a classic player right there. And then Jeff Kunkel, definitely have not heard of him. Bobby Wilson, yeah, cannot forget about Bobby Wilson. I was at the game where he hit his second grand slam in a week. I was there for the second one, I think. Monty Ferris, have not heard of him. And I haven't gotten a chance to like any of these comments. I really haven't even read most of them, which they are very nostalgic. Scott Feldman, I remember him. CJ Nitkowski. Yeah, people do forget he did play for the team. He's not just a commentator. Joe Nathan, Hall of Famer candidate, rather, Hall of Famer on the ballot. He should make it, maybe not this year, but hopefully before the 10 years is up. Michael Choice, I did forget about him, but he was all right for a while. Sammy Sosa, a lot of people forget that. Sammy Sosa was a Texas Ranger. He hit his 600th home run with the team. Brandon Boggs, is that relation to Wade Boggs? Because I don't remember. I don't think I've heard of him. And then I butcher his name every time, so I apologize. But Pete Incavaglia, is that right? Someone's gonna correct me. I apologize once again. I don't remember him, like personally watching him, but I of course know who he is. Ian Desmond, yep, another one that people forget. And then, of course, Craig Gentry, part of those World Series squads. I'm going to skip some here because there are a ton of comments. So we got Kevin Youkilis. I've heard the name. I don't specifically remember him. Kyle Blanks, also one that I remember the name, but I don't really remember him. I think he was on like the 2014 teams. Roman Mendez. Nope, don't think I've heard of him. Josh Wilson, that sounds incredibly familiar, but I think I'm mashing up Josh Hamilton and Bobby Wilson on that one. Francisco Cordero, another name that sounds very familiar, but I just can't seem to remember it. Another Bobby Wilson. Shin-Soo Choo, certainly not random, but once again, this is just like the first thing that came to your mind, basically. And he is, unfortunately, a former Ranger. He was killing it in the KBO, though. Or rather, was he in the KBO? I think he did sign back there. He was like the oldest player to accomplish whatever numbers, so he was still doing pretty solid. Jorge Cantu, remember him. Kevin Kuzmanoff. Mickey Tettleton, fan favorite in his day. Yet another one that sounds super, super familiar, but I just can't quite remember him. Hans Roberto, he's still playing, I think, for Kansas City, I want to say. That was the last thing I remember him being on. Mike Alt, another one I remember the name. I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but y'all get the point. Soriano, Bourbon, first one I thought of as well, nice. Jorvit Torre Alba, probably butchered that as well. Don't recall him. Sammy Sosa, Lee Stevens, I don't think I know who that is. Another Kuzmanov. Will Venable. Yeah, and that's more my era here. He was on the team like 2015, I want to say. Had a really good week or something and then kind of fell off. But a lot of those little guys like that, when you're watching all 162 games in a season, you'll remember guys like that. Ryan Rua, that is a blast from the past for sure. And so is Wandy Rodriguez. Man, I remember I liked Rua a lot, but he was just not consistent, unfortunately. He had big moments when he did have moments, though. Gerald Laird and Will Venable. Don't know who Gerald is, but I just spoke about Will Venable, of course. Jeff Baker sounds incredibly familiar, once again. Another Kevin Kuzmanov, and we'll skip down some here. Oh, AJ Griffin, that one caught my eye. I liked AJ Griffin, but once again, another guy who's just not consistent. Couple Robbie Rosses. I do remember him. Kevin Mensch, A-Rod, Brett Nicholas, Babe Ruth. Brett. Unfortunately, no franchises connected to the Rangers existed when Babe Ruth played. Technically speaking, the original Washington Senators did exist, but if you want to hear about all that mess, you can watch my brief history of the Rangers video, because I talk about the iterations of the Senators, but yeah, they didn't exist when he played. A couple guys here: Craig Gentry, Lance Berkman, Tanner Scheppers. Oh my goodness, I remember Tanner Scheppers because he was the closer at one point, and oh my goodness, did he give me heart attacks on a daily basis. Drew Hutchinson and Logan Forsythe. Forsythe was not bad, but he just didn't fit at the time. Manny Ramirez. A lot of people don't know this. 2013. Yeah, okay. AJ down here commented 2013 he played for Round Rock for like 30 games, I think. And he actually played pretty well, if I recall, for being like 38, I think. He was like 38 or 39 years old, something like that. And he played pretty well. I think he's still playing in Mexican leagues or something. I mean, he's still keeping the dream going. Giovanni Gallardo, he was not random. I mean, yeah, he was pretty, I don't know, important is, I guess, the correct word in a lot of those runs. He was, solid, more bottom of the rotation guy. But that's kind of what I was saying at the beginning of the video, is some of these guys are not random per se, but it's like the first guy you think of. I had to think for a while to come up with Cordero here, because I was trying to think of someone obscure. And we'll read a few more here. Let's see. We got old Hank, a couple Hank Blaliks here. I think I said that wrong again. It's Blalik. I apologize again. Corey Kluber started for like one game and dipped. Yeah, it was really like one inning, but not his fault. That was a very unfortunate signing, or trade rather. It was a great trade, but the outcome, of course, being not good. And that was the whole Warning to the West thing that fell through, because the Rangers did not perform well. Wandy Rodriguez, Kevin. So a lot of these are starting to repeat. Matt Bush, I think he still is a Ranger. I don't remember though. A lot of these are starting to repeat. Ricky Williams, the football player. I don't know who that is, but interesting. I did see one on here. It's got to be close. Yeah, Russell Wilson. A lot of people probably don't remember that. Russell Wilson tried to be a two-sport player, rather, at some point. And he was signed by the Rangers in like I want to say like 2013 or something. He pretty much only ever showed up to spring training, and then most recently, he was quote unquote traded to the Yankees in like 2017 and then got like two at bats for them. Because the Seahawks are not stupid. They don't want him to injure himself playing baseball. So, and then this is a popular one, I guess. Austin Bibbins Dirks. That's the bottom of the comments as well. He was cool. I got to interview him early on through DMs before I had the whole Zoom thing going. So he's a cool dude. I still message him sometimes, like if he posts baseball stuff, and he replies to my stories sometimes too. So he's a good dude. But that is it for today's FAQ video. As always, y'all hit me up on Instagram if you want to be featured in a future one, and if you want to see all the responses to this one. But this has been fun, and also I apologize, I'm still at my remote setup, so the audio is a little low quality, but next video you see will be back in the normal setup, and I'm going to try to do like MLB The Show stuff, because I got a PS5 now. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what players you can think of if you didn't get a chance to comment on this one, and I will talk to y'all later.